Did you know that long before telescopes, satellites, or written equations, ancient Africans were already reading the sky with extraordinary precision, tracking stars, predicting seasons, and aligning monuments with the cosmos itself? They did not guess. They observed. They remembered. And they turned the heavens into knowledge that sustained entire civilizations. If you care about African innovation, ancient science, and the forgotten intellectual power of the continent, subscribe now, because what you're about to hear challenges everything you were taught about where science truly began. Here's a question that reframes history. When we think of ancient astronomy, why do images of Galileo, Greek philosophers, or medieval Europe come to mind, while Africa is left out of the picture? What if some of humanity's earliest and most practical astronomical knowledge was developed not in stone observatories, but under African skies? Across the continent, the evidence is everywhere. From desert stone circles to river-fed kingdoms, from oral traditions whispered across generations to monuments carved with cosmic intent. This was not superstition. This was science rooted in survival. Let's begin where the sky speaks loudest, the desert. In what is now southern Egypt and northern Sudan stands Nabta Playa, one of the oldest known astronomical sites on Earth. Built around 5000 BCE, over 7,000 years ago, its stones were not placed at random. They were aligned with the summer solstice, marking the return of seasonal rains. For people living on the edge of the Sahara, this knowledge meant everything. It meant knowing when life would return. It meant knowing when to plant, when to move, when to survive. No telescopes, no written charts, just human eyes, disciplined memory, and generations of careful observation. Imagine the patience this required, watching the same stars rise and fall year after year, noticing patterns, correcting mistakes, passing knowledge from elder to student until prediction became certainty. That tradition did not vanish. In Mali, the Dogon people preserved complex astronomical knowledge through oral tradition alone. Their cosmology includes detailed information about Sirius and its invisible companion, Sirius B, confirmed by Western astronomers only in the 19th century. How did they know? Scholars debate the explanation. But one fact remains undeniable. African societies preserved advanced astronomical knowledge without writing it down, embedding science into culture so deeply that it survived centuries of change. Now move south. Between the 11th and 15th centuries, the builders of Great Zimbabwe constructed massive stone structures aligned with celestial cycles. These were not crude walls. They were precise, geometric, intentional, built in conversation with the sun, the seasons, and the sky itself. The builders weren't just constructing a city, they were anchoring their civilization to the cosmos. And then there is ancient Egypt, often isolated from Africa in popular imagination, but undeniably African in origin and achievement. Egyptian astronomers watched the skies until they noticed something remarkable. The heliacal rising of Sirius, its first appearance at dawn, always coincided with the flooding of the Nile. This observation reshaped civilization. The flood could be predicted, agriculture could be planned, time itself could be measured. Their calendar, developed over 5,000 years ago, was among the most accurate in the ancient world. Their pyramids, especially the Great Pyramid of Giza, were aligned to true north with astonishing precision. That level of accuracy does not happen by accident. It happens through systematic astronomical observation and mathematical reasoning. So ask yourself this: how do you measure time without clocks? Navigate without GPS? Predict seasons without satellites? you become a master of the sky. Across Africa, star calendars guided life itself. Certain stars signaled planting seasons. Others warned of droughts or migration. Among the Borana people of Ethiopia and Kenya, designated timekeepers called Ayantu memorized complex lunar stellar patterns, maintaining a calendar system still in use today. This was not primitive knowledge. This was precision science sustained through memory and discipline. In southern Africa, ancient sand rock art may record celestial events, lunar phases, meteor showers, cosmic phenomena witnessed and remembered. These images form a visual archive of sky-watching traditions thousands of years old. In West Africa, peoples like the Bambara and Senufo integrated astronomy into agriculture, ritual, and philosophy. They understood that life on Earth moved in rhythm with the heavens. And that is the key. African astronomy was never just about wonder, it was about connection. The belief that rivers, rains, animals, and humans were part of a larger cosmic system. This required abstract thinking, pattern recognition across generations, mathematics without symbols, physics without textbooks. In Ethiopia, an ancient solar calendar, still used today, measures the year at roughly 365.25 days, a figure reached through nothing but long-term observation of the sun. African science turned uncertainty into knowledge. Yet much of this wisdom was dismissed or destroyed during colonization. Oral traditions were labeled myth. Knowledge keepers were ignored. Monuments were misunderstood. And still, enough survived. Enough to tell us the truth. Africa didn't wait for science to arrive. Africa created it. When you look at the night sky tonight, remember this. Ancient Africans gazed at the same stars. They mapped them. They trusted them. They built civilizations around them. No telescopes, only patience, intelligence, and memory. This is African history. This is ancient science. This is a legacy that belongs in the global story of human knowledge. Subscribe and follow for more untold African history, because the stars remember, even when history forgets.